Now let's see. We are still talking about digital multimeters, and we're talking about the size. Now we are talking about. We want to talk about DC current. We have dealt with DC or treated DC voltage. Now I want to treat that the table for DC voltage has been treated already for technicians who may like to use remember the size of the digital multimeter we are talking about is about 3.5. That we are dealing with anything the voltage and the current is within the range of what we are talking about. We're talking about the 3.5 size of digital multimedia in measuring DC and AC voltage, DC current, and so you understand. So those are the things, and we talk about the resistors and diodes. Okay, now diodes and some of these provide it tells us on how it provides the temperature. Okay, now we have dealt with the DC voltage. Now remember, this is what we are talking about here. We're talking about this is 3.5 digital multimeter. That I've said it before. The switch. We're talking about the switch. Okay, you start where you thought the switch is show on the screen. Okay, now you come to talk about the third one. Okay, so where the section. Okay, now the section. Now talk about this section here. We talk about the DC. You have to talk about the COM. Okay, itself. You come to the COM. Then the next one you talk about is the third one. You talk about the voltmeter A. Then now the next you come to the last but not the least, which is the fifth one. We're talking about the MF. That's the HFE. I have the three sockets here where the probes are. You have the probes here. This is the probes. This red is the positive. The red is the positive. This is the negative. Okay. While these are the plug. These are the switch. These are the plug. Okay. This is the negative plug, the black. While this is the positive. Okay. So socket or maybe a kind of plug. Okay. This is the probe itself. Okay. This is the materials, or these are the device you use for measuring, touching your naked wire or something instead of using your tongue to touch it. Now let's go now to the table now. Now this is the battery. This is the battery. So remember we're talking about 3.5 size of the digital multimeter. That's the specimen that we are using. So if you go higher, you know what to do. Now let's go to the table right now and see what we are talking about right now. Okay. Now we are talking about the DC current. We have dealt with the DC current, dealt with the DC voltage already. Now, range, resolution, and the accuracy. Now the table, you draw your own table, okay? Now we have 200, okay? 2000 A. It gives you, the resolution will be 100 NA. We don't have any accuracy here. Then, under you have 2000 UA, that's it, 2000, that's under range, 2000 UA will give us 1 UA with the resolution or accuracy of hash bracket close 2% of RDG plus 20, okay, plus 20. Okay. Now come here. The next thing is 20 MA. We're talking about DC current. Now under resolution you have 10 UA. No accuracy there. Then under range you have 200 MA. Then under resolution that's 200 MA under the range. Then under the resolution you have 1000 UA. Then the accuracy goes about hashtag. You have hash 2.5% of RDG plus 20. Now you come under, you have 10A. That's range 10A, which the resolution is 10 MA. Then the accuracy will now hash 2.5 of RDG plus 100. Okay. Now, overload protection. You must do all this. Overload protection when using it. It just equals to 5 Because it will read on the screen, okay? 500 meter A. When it's overloaded, you know. A, that's 250 volts V, fuse. Then if it's a 10A range, it gives you, or it will be unfused. So that's how you should know that the measurement voltage, okay, the voltage of 200 MV. That'll be all for now. We have dealt with the DC, that's a DC voltage and DC current. We have just treated DC current now. So we are talking to the multimeter for there's a digital multimeter for our technicians, okay, so that they can learn and have it in case you want to buy. Thank you.